Well, we in there. What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. So we're gonna do the playoff breakdown. I meant to do this a couple days ago, but got swept up into the new year. Oh, Happy New Year, by the way. Hope everybody's being safe. 2020 is out of here. We're gonna start this year off right. Going into week 16, the AFC division leaders are as follows. Kansas City Chiefs, number one, they've clinched home field. So they, no matter what they do, they're not losing that number one spot. Buffalo Bills have clinched their division and they're in the second seed. The Pittsburgh Steelers have clinched their division and they're in the third seed. Both of them have the same record, they're 12-3. So they're waiting to, depending on what happens Sunday, depends on whether or not they will switch places or not. So Steelers win, the Bills win. If one or the other loses, they can switch places. Tennessee Titans in seed 4 at 10-5. Wild card, 5th seed, Miami Dolphins. 6th seed, Baltimore Ravens. 7th seed, Cleveland Browns. Now, Dolphins and the Browns, they haven't been in the playoffs in a minute. I think the Dolphins been maybe 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I can't remember which time that was, but yeah, for the Browns, it's been a minute. So outside looking in, the only team that has a chance of making it this week would be the Indianapolis Colts. So they have a tying record of 10-5 with all of the wild card teams that I just mentioned. I'm gonna do the AFC schedule breakdown before I do that. So they got Buffalo. Now, if Buffalo decides to rest their starters, then Miami has a chance of winning that game. I mean, Miami still has a chance of winning the game. I don't know, they have so many mystery players. So I don't know who half these people are. So I guess Devontae Parker would be their main guy. Myles Gaskins by far is their leading rusher. On the other side with the Bills, they got Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. So Cole Beasley is like the second coming of Wes Welker or Julian Edelman, because he's like that's a white boy that can go. It depends on what the Bills are going to do. Because they clinch their division regardless. So if they don't care about their seeding, they could rest their starters. And Miami could have a chance of winning that game. As for Pittsburgh, they play the Browns. So it's very possible that they could lose that game. They already listed Mason Rudolph as the starter. Alright, I don't know. But on this app of mine, they got Mason Rudolph listed as the starter for the Steelers. So I guess they decided to rest Ben. And you know what? It makes sense because the Steelers need as much rest as they can get. Or at least Ben needs as much rest as he can get. But yeah, so I don't know. Based on that alone, I'm gonna give it to the Browns. The Browns, they're 10-point favorites in this game. And the Steelers have already been they've been exposed the last 3 out of 4 weeks. They won last week's game, but they lost 3 in a row before that. They came in 11-0. They was feeling themselves. They was in the lead, and then boom, boom, boom. They just lost. So yeah. So with that being said, it's very possible for the Steelers to stay where they're at, and for Buffalo to retain that second seed. Now, let's look at the Colts. Who's the Colts playing this week? They playing Jacksonville. So it's very possible for the Colts to win that game. Miami, Baltimore, and Cleveland, they gotta be on their toes. Otherwise, Colts is gonna sneak in. All right. Moving down to the NFC, we got the Green Bay Packers in seed number 1. We got the New Orleans Saints in seed number 2. We got the Seattle Seahawks in seed number 3. And we got the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins in seed number 4. The Packers, the Saints, and the Seahawks all have clinched their division, but none of them have clinched home field. Even with the Packers being ahead of the Saints, I don't know what the tiebreaker would be there. The Packers are 12-3, Saints are 11-4, and the Seahawks are 11-4 as well. So they could swap. Green Bay plays the Bears, so they're 4.5-point favorites. I'm gonna give it to Green Bay strictly off the fact that Trubisky is the quarterback for the Bears. So they have a chance of, well, they're gonna keep that spot. Then we got the Saints. They're playing Carolina. Very possible for them to win that game. So let's just say that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers they're going to be 13-3. The Saints are going to remain in that second slot at 12-4. Seattle plays the 49ers. Now, 49ers have been cooking lately, so that game is not guaranteed. Yeah, they won against Arizona. They almost beat the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they've been in almost every single game. So yeah, that defense that the defense that the 49ers got is nothing to slouch at. So that's a toss-up. And it's a division matchup, so you never know. Well, every game this week is a division matchup. With the football team formerly Washington, they play the Eagles. They're 2.5-point favorites. Now, they just last week released their top quarterback, their first round pick, Dwayne Haskins, for doing fuck shit, doing dumb shit really. But they got Alex Smith. Alex Smith has been doing some things this year, but at the same time, Jalen Hurts is that dude. I don't know. We could, in 4 games, he already has almost 1,000 yards passing. I think Philly could get this one, salvage some pride and also keep Washington from going to the playoffs. So I think really it could either go to the Cowboys or the Giants, depending on the tiebreaker. Yeah, it would have to be something significant. It had to be a tiebreaker or something that would get them in. Going into the wild card, seed 5, we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seed 2, LA Rams. Seed 3, Chicago Bears. So as I mentioned, the Bears play the Packers in their final game of the season. And Arizona, who is the team, the only wild card team that's in the hunt right now. And right now they would have to either look at the Rams or Chicago's spot. All right, so the Cardinals play the Rams on Sunday. So that is a very possible upset. If they're already 3-point favorites. Now, it depends on which Jared Goff shows up. Is it going to be classic Jared Goff or is it going to be Super Bowl Jared Goff? Jared Goff that got the Rams to the Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see. But it could be, it's looking like the Cardinals could take that spot. And then it would come down to a tiebreaker between the Rams and the Bears. But if the Bears lose to Green Bay, then that's a moot point altogether. Yeah, because if the Bears lose, they'd be 8-8. If the Cardinals win, they'll be 9-7. The Rams will be 9-7. And they would have jumped over the Rams. The Rams would have slid down to seed 7, and then it would have knocked the Bears out. If the Bears beat the Packers, then the Bears will be 9-7. And then I guess that last spot would really be between the Cardinals and the Rams. And it could still come down to a tiebreaker that might still push either the Rams or the Bears out of the playoffs. Tampa is in no matter what. So, no matter what happens. So, if the season ended today, Kansas City Chiefs would be number 1 in the start with AFC. Kansas City Chiefs would be number 1. They clinched home field. They're not moving out of that spot. We'll see them in a week. You got seed 2, the Buffalo Bills, going against seed 7, the Cleveland Browns, because it's always the highest seed versus the lowest seed. Then you got seed 3, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Seed 6, that's going to be the game to watch. Actually, all of these games are the game to watch, really. And then you got the Tennessee Titans in seed 4 versus the Miami Dolphins in seed 5. So we got 2 divisional matchups in the wild card, which is crazy. All of these games are going to be good. Are going to be good. I hope it stays similar to this because I'm actually excited watching these. Buffalo and Cleveland. So this is what I think is going to come down to. It would come down to Cleveland's rushing attack versus, well, Cleveland's ground attack versus the Bills' air attack. You know, because ever since the Bills got Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen has been going off. And you know, if you decide you want to double team Stephon Diggs, he's got Cole Beasley on the other side. So, you know, not to say that the Browns are a slouch in the pass game either. You know, they still got Landry, Rashard Higgins, Austin Hooper. I think Odell is still injured. Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. is injured. Yeah, they got Hooper and they got Landry. Cleveland's main thing is they rush the ball. They got 2 running backs. Actually, they've always had 2 running backs that could rush efficiently. They got Nick Chubb and they got Kareem Hunt. You remember Kareem Hunt? He used to play for the Chiefs. So it's going to come down to Cleveland's 2 running backs versus Buffalo's 2 receivers. And, you know, both of their quarterbacks are, you know, they're their quarterbacks. That's Josh Allen versus Shaken Baker Mayfield. So that could be a game. I don't know why I wasted so much time trying to analyze that. It's a possibility. I don't even know if these are going to be the matchups next week. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Just see previous matchups. Them two are always going to go at it, and you never know what it's going to be. The factor in the game is going to be Lamar Jackson, and if Ben plays that game, because I still don't know what the deal with that is. I think they just rested him week 17, but we'll see. Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. I can tell you now what this is going to come down to. It's going to come down to Ryan Tannehill versus Tua Tagovailoa. Roll Tide. Yeah, that game is going to be a toss-up because I think both quarterbacks really make that team. So that game will be whatever the quarterback wishes it to be. Moving into the NFC, seed number 2, the New Orleans Saints versus seed 7, the Chicago Bears. I almost said Shaka Khan. But what that's going to come down to is the defense. The Bears defense is very, very good. Almost back to the days of the 85 Bears defense with Mike Ditka. But I don't think that because Mitch Trubisky is their quarterback, I'm going to have to give an edge to the Saints. The Saints are going to get out of that round. Then we have seed number 3, the Seattle Seahawks versus seed 6, the LA Rams. That's a divisional matchup. So depending on which Jared Goff we get will depend on the victory of that game. Depending on which Russell Wilson we get will depend on whether the Seahawks can get the victory or not. Because we could get MVP Russell Wilson, or we could get week 8 through 16 Russell Wilson. We could get classic Jared Goff, or we could get Super Bowl Jared Goff. You know, the quarterback that took his team to the Super Bowl. So that's a toss-up. Both offenses have the ability to score. And, you know, when they faced each other twice already earlier this year, and they've come out, each one has scored a win on the other. And these scores are actually surprisingly low when you see how explosive each offense can be. So the first meeting on the earlier was the Rams got out of that 23-16. That was the Rams home game. Then the Seahawks beat them a couple weeks ago. Well, last week. They beat them last week 20-9. So it depends. Who knows? Next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. This could, because matter of fact, I'm just gonna put a question mark on that seed 4, because it could be anybody. We could be facing Dallas, we could be facing New York, you know, we could still be facing Washington. Who knows? And then even still, Tampa Bay might not be in the 5th seed. So, you know, like that matchup could change. But the way that it's looking now, we could face somebody in the NFC East. So regardless of who it is, you know, it's not gonna, you know, regardless of who it is, if the Bucs applied themselves, if the Bucs decided they wanted to win that game, they could win the game. So that's that. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Advanced Sports Talk, the playoff breakdown. Yeah, we you know, it's been a long and weird season. First 4 to 8 weeks has been crazy, you know, and especially with there being no practice, no OTAs, no preseason. And it's like for those teams that actually came together the way that they did, you know, is amazing. So look, so check out my merch. I'm gonna give you the website, but because Teespring acts special sometimes, I can't really you can't search my name, so I'm gonna put the link in the description so that you can go on there, cop a t-shirt. Motto for 2021: goal assassin. Don't accomplish your goals, assassinate them. Cross them off like the hit list. Got it on the back of my shirt right here. So yeah, check me out on Instagram, Advanced 110. Check out my gaming channel, Advanced Plays with VMX9999 on Facebook. I mean, not on Facebook, on YouTube. I do have Advanced Plays on Facebook, so at Advanced Plays. You already know this is at the Advanced Perception. We have a cosmic level of thinking. Advance yourself. Like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.